Yo, I ain't here for the money, I ain't here for the fame. Though it might be nice to own a jet plane, I'ma do it all for you.
Hey, what is up, trainers? PoGo Joe here, coming back to you with another Kingdom Cup video. For this video, we're going to be covering the Ice meta. Now, the Ice meta has some usability in here, but it does feel like the weakest link so far. There's not going to be too much outside of the main meta for the Ice types, but we'll explore them and take a quick look here. And if you're new to the channel, my name's PoGo Joel. I make tips and trick guide videos, event guides, and I'm starting to cover the Silph Road Cups now. So if any of this information is helpful, please drop a like, subscribe, and hopefully we can keep bringing out more great content for y'all. Alrighty, without further ado, let's get into the video. First up, the main player of the Ice type, Lapras, with an attack stat of 165, defense stat of 174, and a stamina of 277. Lapras is going to be a beastly Pokemon to bring in. It's going to help you with shielding your more weaker Pokemon without even having to waste shields. It can take a lot. It's weak against Lucario though. Lucario can farm you, so be careful there. But if you do catch a Lucario without any shields, you might be able to put in some work. But Lapras, what's going to make it really good is the different types of Laprases you could actually bring in. So there's the Legacy Ice Shard Ice Beam Lapras. If you have Legacy Ice Shard Lapras, that's going to help you with a lot of the flying type Pokemon that are in here, and the dragons, of course. So that'll be good for that, but in general, for the overall meta, it won't be doing as much damage outside of the flyers, and that's the Ice Shard variant. So you definitely want to run Water Gun. Water Gun's going to do more neutral damage to a lot more of the meta. If you are lucky to have an Ice Beam, make sure you pair that off with a Surf. If you're lucky to have a Dragon Pulse, pair that off with a Surf. If you have a double Legacy Ice Shard Ice Beam, make sure you add Surf to that. But you might want to leave your Ice Shard Lapras at home and bring out the Water Gun. And then definitely are going to want double moves. Surf is going to be the faster move, and it's going to hit more of the meta. So if you just have Ice Beam, like I've been running on this one, make sure you unlock that second move. I definitely will be doing that prior to mine. Lapras is definitely under consideration for my team, and it should be under yours. It is a tank. You will have to watch out for fighting Pokemon, so Lucario can farm you. Blaziken might be able to put in some work with you, but you are water, so that might be a fight that is worth sticking out. You are weak to rocks, so Metal with Rock Slide is going to hit you. And other than that, there shouldn't be too much going on with Lapras. There'll be times where you can farm and save that charge move for the next Pokemon. This is a beautiful example here. We have enough for double Ice Beams, and now they're forced to either shield or let their Pokemon go down. So good way to conserve your shields and put in work, and then pay attention on those matches that you can farm, like Steelix, anything that is weak to water. Yep, again, so those key matchups to pay attention to. You're weak to both Lucario and Bastiodon, although you can hang in there with Bastiodon with Water Gun. And then Surf is by far the most important move for Lapras in this meta, so even variants with Blizzard will most likely work. And the Sentosa Safari Zone event has kicked off. Shiny Lapras is out. Hopefully that gets released worldwide, so if your tournament is later in the month, you have a chance at bringing in a shiny Lapras with Water Gun and Surf ready to go. And if you want to unlock a secondary move, go ahead and get Blizzard. You should be set. Next up, we have Sealeo with an attack stat of 137, a defense stat of 132, a stamina stat of 207. It's going to be weak to fighting and rock for this meta, and then resistances on the left. So Sealeo was notable in the previous cup because it had Body Slam, so it has that spammy attack that's going to try to get you to waste all of your shields to help clear your team. Now that strategy may work out for you this time, but you're definitely not going to have the same success as you did last time around. The ideal movesets are most likely going to be Powder Snow, Body Slam, Water Pulse. Definitely want to have those. You can also throw in Aurora Beam in there just for the extra coverage on dragons. Sealeo feels more like a budget Lapras at the moment. And I don't know how budget that really is, because it does still take a lot to power up. And if you want those moves, there's recommending Powder Snow just so you can take down Altaria and other dragons like Flygon, which will hit very hard and would be almost impossible to take down with just Water Gun. Although Water Gun will provide more wide range, but you can get away with Powder Snow and then using that to power up your Water Pulse to threaten those fire types that are in the meta as well. So you'll have coverage for Blaziken and Charizard doing it that way. So you do have some options here with Sealeo. It might not be the best option, but there are really good players who can utilize this. So practice for sure, and do spend a little bit to get the extra move there. Next up we have Froslass, a Ice and Ghost type Pokemon with an attack stat of 171, defense 150, stamina 172. It's going to resist a lot of really good things in this meta, like fighting. So Lucario, you'll be able to stand up to a Lucario, and you should be able to do pretty good with it if you could put in work. I need to work on mine. This one is not even close to where it needs to be. This one's going to be maxing out for the Great League at 1497, and then you're definitely going to need to unlock better moves on it. You're going to want Powdered Snow as the fast move, Avalanche, and Shadow Ball. So mine still needs work. I'm running Hex and Shadow Ball right now. It needs a lot more work to be way more effective in this meta. It's going to hit the dragons really hard, and you'll have coverage for Lucario. And then if you manage to get a Shadow Ball off on anything, it will put in work for you. So definitely one to consider. There are some people who are really good with Froslass. Next up we have Piloswine. Piloswine is a Ice and Ground type Pokemon with an attack stat of 181, defense stat of 138, stamina stat of 225. It's going to be weak to fighting, steel, and water. So those are some notable ones that come up in the cup a lot. And then the resistances aren't really going to help you out here, but its claim to fame is that it charges up very fast with Powder Snow and Avalanche. And then you're going to want to unlock a secondary move if you're going to use it, either Bulldoze or Stone Edge. Most likely you're going to want to go Bulldoze. So Piloswine is able to put in a lot of work and actually beat up on Bastiodon. And it could even take down Melmetal with Bulldoze. So you definitely want to consider it. It charges up pretty quickly and it catches a lot of people off guard. So it's pretty good. You will most likely need to invest shields in it, so it could be effective for you. But it is an option, and we should have lots of candy because it did get a community day. So it is viable, but it is more of a specialist as opposed to an overall hard hitting to the meta. So definitely something to consider. Next up we have Alolan Ninetails, an Ice and Fairy type Pokemon. So its attack stat is 170, defense 193, stamina 177. It's going to be weak to Rock and Steel, which should show up a little bit here, and it's going to resist Dragon and Ice, so that'll help you here. Its claim to fame is it has the spammy Psychic attack here, Psyshock, so that comes off really quick. You also have Ice Beam to take down the dragons. So that Psychic move is going to help out with spamming players, so maybe it'll get them to waste their shields, open up that attack for the team. But with just like one more tap, you can get to Ice Beam, so that's an important thing to keep an eye on, because if you do come up against a dragon or a flyer, that'll help you there. And it does put in work, but you're going to have to invest shields, and some of you guys might already have this powered up from a previous cup, so kudos to you if you do have it. I like it for fun. It does bring in an extra level with that Psyshock. You don't know what's going to hit you. So if you're going up against dragons, this might be a very good option to bring in. It does charge up pretty quickly, so there is usability there as a shield breaker, as a spammer. But totally up to you if you bring this in. But it is viable and it could work, but it is more of a specialist for dragons. And here are some honorable mentions. Glalie. So some people did use this in a previous cup. It came in really handy back then. Some people swear to it. But its weakness is fighting, rock, steel, fire. All those things you will see in the cup. So it might not be the best one to keep in battle or to bring in. You can give it a shot. Again, it's going to be a specialist just for dragons. But you have way better options to use, I would say skip it. Yeah, definitely skip it. I mean, it's specialist. It's only going to be really good against dragons, and even then, it could still lose. Mine isn't powered up all the way where it should be, but I will get it there eventually for a future cup, maybe. But when you're losing to Kingdra, I'm not sure if I want to bring you in. The last honorable mention is Mamoswine with an attack stat of 247, defense stat of 146, stamina stat of 242. Its weakness to fire, fighting, steel, water. So many weaknesses in this cup, and none of the resistances are really going to help you. Its claim to fame is it has access to ancient power, which will hit our flyers pretty hard, but that is about it. So it is another specialist. You would probably want a secondary move on this, but to be honest with you, you're better off going Piloswine than Mamoswine. But there is that move that can give you a boost that is random. Do not rely on that. It's not going to do too much work for you. Go ahead and just go Piloswine. Alrighty guys, there you have it. That is the ice meta for the Kingdom Cup. Not too many options really to go off of here. Probably the best option is going to be Lapras, and then if the Sentosa event does get released worldwide, as far as the exclusive shinies, we should be seeing shiny Shuckle come out and shiny Lapras, and maybe you want to bring in shiny Lapras with Water Gun, Surf, and maybe unlock Blizzard. Those are going to be some really good options for you. Sealeo, maybe. And the rest of them are more specialists, so not too much to work off of here in the ice meta. But hey, if you found any of this helpful, please drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment in there. Help me keep going, man. I really love hearing the feedback from everyone. I get it in all kinds of different places, and any feedback is good. If you have any suggestions on what I can be doing better, let me know, because I'm really here just to try to help out my community. And until next time, trainers, battle on!